Listen, this is definitely, look, I have a newfound. Okay, we work, we here. We are here. This is definitely, look, I have a newfound. Okay, we here. We are here. So how do I This mute? Is definitely, look, I have a newfound. Okay, we here. So hello. I don't know if it's gonna mute it. So let's do this. I'm gonna check. Look, I'm doing a tech check. I am doing a tech check to make sure everything is good before starting. This masterclass is going to be very, very conversational because one, of course, I have my notes on a paper, and also I've been trying to figure out how to use. Let me make sure I can hear. Okay, so we're good there. I think I've got to go ahead and invest. So I've been looking at this software that allows you to, so now I need the link. I've been looking at this software that allows you to stream multiple platforms. I did not want to pay for an additional monthly subscription because we are looking at decreasing things, not increasing. But at the same time, we got to make it make sense. We have to, this says echo. This says mic. The mic is all the way up. Hopefully I am not too loud. Let me know. Drop a comment. Make sure that I am not too loud. That the audio is okay, that you can hear me. I am about to get started. This masterclass is the first of many because I realized that I have been sharing the same information over and over again. And the thing with me is that being somebody who talks a lot and has a lot to say, sometimes I think I tell people stuff, but I really don't. Or, yeah, so, oh, I could have shared the link. I am on the last step. Hello and happy winning, wellness, wealthy Wednesdays, whatever you want to call it. I call it winning Wednesdays. Like we're halfway through the week and we rocking and rolling. So I thought it was gonna let me share a link. Okay. So I'm going live. I don't even know where I'm gonna put this phone. Listen, this is interesting. So I guess it's okay over here because I'm not, if you want to be able to ask questions, you can use the link provided, and Facebook is not letting me save it. I don't know. Facebook is acting funky. So anyways, we're gonna put this right here. Hopefully the phone doesn't fall. I am on live on YouTube, live on my Facebook, Holistic Success Circle. And today this is going to be, oh, let me record this. We're gonna record so that I can utilize the information over again. So hello, hello. Happy winning Wednesday. I don't I'm happy to be here. Like, this has been a long time in the making. I've been saying I need to schedule a chat because, like, we have to make the moves make sense. There's been a lot of noise going on, and how do we make it make sense? How do we master our mess when it comes to money? So, it's crazy how we've been taught how to make money. We've been taught to like work hard, make money, but we were not taught how to invest, right? Certain times we're taking advice from the wrong people, and we have to make sure that we're not just budgeting, which keeps us by. We want to make sure that we have a plan in place so that our money can grow and multiply, because it's not just about how we manage it, but how we multiply it. And I say that if we do not have a plan to make money work for us, we will always be working for money. Hi, Chris. Happy Wednesday. This is a long overdue conversation. I will be hosting a series of masterclasses talking all about boss moves, whether it's in business, whether it's in life, whether it's in self-care, all of it matters. And just a disclaimer, nobody will put me in a box. Some people say, well, you know a lot about finances, you should just talk about that because that's what people want to hear. And I always say that there's certain things that we might want to hear, and there's other things that we need to hear. All right. So that's where we go into handling our mess, our mental, emotional, and spiritual self, because it's all connected. I remember a time where I was like depressed and I was just spending money. I was like actually making my situation worse because I was like not feeling good. And then I just kept spending money, charging up credit cards, which ultimately I ended up facing several foreclosures, went through a devastating divorce, lost friendships. No matter where I found myself in life, I just was like, you know what? Emotional spending like ends up making me feel worse than better. So I knew there had to be a better way. So if you haven't met me before, if this is your first time here, hello and welcome, welcome, welcome to the Boss Moves Masterclass. I am your host, and my name is Miss Joyce Polliard. I'm a woman of faith. I am a girl mom. I love coffee, hence my second cup of the day. I love coffee. I love gel pens. As a nurse for like since 2009, I have taken that compassion, that care beyond the bedside. So I became a certified success coach about 4 years ago, and about 3 years ago, became a certified financial strategist. And my passion is helping mompreneurs and beyond to build a better life and legacy. And people are always asking me, well, Joyce, how do you do it? You always seem like you're doing so much. And, like, how do you remain consistent? And my thing is that God gives and God can take away. So if I am not a good steward over what God has entrusted in me, like I could wake up tomorrow and everything, like hits the fan. So not to get too much off track, but there are certain people that it feels like life just keeps happening to them, right? And I say that, yes, there are some people that are unfortunate, but I believe that there are more people that make bad decisions than people that have bad luck. Because once I got in alignment with what God was doing in my life, what my purpose was, and being a good steward over what He has entrusted me with, right? And that's not just money. Just being a good steward over what God has entrusted me with, like life really starts to look better. And even the times where things might not be so perfect, I'm able to find the positivity and focus on what's on the other side. So by the end of this masterclass, I will be sharing some things that you can do to take boss moves, money over your money. Okay. Let's face it, things aren't getting easier. So we have to do better. Personal pensions, well, employer sponsored pension plans are rarely existent. And we see the state of the economy, what's going on in the government, and it's up to us. If it will be, it is up to we. We have to do better when it comes to our money. So I'm going to be sharing the biggest mistakes that I see people make when it comes to their money. And then I will also share some simple things that we can do to improve our finances. Okay. So, hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in. I do have my notes here. If you see me looking down, I was supposed to have a PowerPoint presentation put together, but I was like, you know what? Let me just have a heart to heart conversation. And I'm sure that, the slides will not be missed. So, basically, I want to talk first about the mistakes that I see people make, and then I will share some things that we can do instead. All right. And then a little bit of education. So you have to ask yourself, like, who are you taking advice from, right? Because Susie Q in HR, what's her certification? Because oftentimes the HR department at our job gives us these documents and they're like, well, sign this, fill this out, and you're going to have your employee benefits, but them employee benefits are not really made for our benefit. Yes, we need health insurance. Yes, 401(k) serve their a purpose, but we can't just leave it up to someone else. We have to figure out what can we do to play a part in our own prosperity. So we will talk about like we got to make our moves make sense. Another mistake that I see that people make is not knowing what's going on financially. So I did a video a few weeks ago and I say, like, take a financial snapshot. Because oftentimes I tell my clients, like, I don't really follow a whole budgeting plan because I believe that budgeting keeps us broke. But telling our money where to go with a solid plan helps us to get ahead in life. So, one, we're not going to be taking advice from just random people. And number two, we're going to look at having a plan, right? Because you have to have a financial snapshot. You have to know what's coming in, what's going out, what do you own and what do you owe? Because you have to know your financial net worth. Because if you don't know where you are, what happens next, right? And I tell my clients all the time, rarely do we go to the airport without a destination in mind. Wherever we want to go in life, we have to know our starting point and where we want to be. And yes, there might be detours along the way. Success is not a straight path, but at least we can put something into place and do our part, right? So I'm going to share one rule today, and then I'm going to share what we can do next. So what I said, the mistake was, oh yeah, you have to know what you have. So one mistake is people make is like taking advice from the wrong people. Number two is not having like financial snapshot, knowing what's going on. And number three, I would say is not knowing like interest rates, life insurance. Like I sit down with people all the time and I'm like, well, how much insurance coverage do you have? What does it cover? And they're like, oh, I don't know. I have to go find a policy. Like these are things that we have to know because I said it would do you a big disservice if you were to have like a life event and you have something in place and your family doesn't even know about it. Because another thing is I said that online statements are not for our convenience. It's pretty much things that I feel like credit card companies want us to have online statements because that's just going to allow them to like us to not see all the interest and the fees and stuff that they're charging us. All right. So we're looking at and also the ability like to have multiple streams. I will say a bigger mistake that people make is not having multiple streams of money because if we were to take a look, it's a little far away, but it, it, we look at buckets, right? So we'll say this is what's coming in and what's coming out. Number one, when we don't, oh, the back is a little blurry. Let me see if I can fix that. Oh, I guess it's not blurred. Maybe it's my phone. I'm gonna have to clean this because I want you to be able to see. I want my YouTube folks to be able to see what's going on. Um, so I'll use this. I'm gonna try to clean the phone. Hopefully it doesn't fall. I don't know if you could drop a comment, let me know if you can see the background. I don't know if it's just me and my sinuses, but I might have to draw it on a piece of paper. But let me just give the visual. All right. So if we have buckets coming in, and what happens is when we depend on one employer, when we depend on one stream of income, what happens if one of these buckets were to be gone? If we're depending on one employer and we lose that one bucket, like everything shuts down. But if we have money out there working for us, we're getting interest, we have a side hustle, we have a business, we have maybe a contract gig. Guess what? If one bucket were to go away and stuff stopped getting poured in, you still have additional buckets. So I believe that a big mistake that people make is not having multiple streams of income. And that does not always mean multiple jobs. Because yes, you have money coming in, right? But I believe that sometimes we create bills and our budget helps us to just keep getting by and it's not helping us to build. So we definitely need to have a game plan so our money can grow and we can get ahead. All right. So rule of 72, let's talk about it. So the rule of 72 basically tells us that if, can I draw on this? Let's see. Since I don't have my, since I don't have my, okay, I'm gonna try to draw here. Since I do not have my slides up, I'm going to share. So let's say rule of 72 is credited to Albert Einstein, and it basically says that if you take the number 72 and you divide it by the current interest rate that you're getting on your money, that will tell you how long it will take your money to double. All right. So I should have did the math ahead of time so I can look smarter. But if we look here, we'll just take one number. All right, so 72 divided by 6. If we are getting 6% interest rate in an account and we have, oh, I don't want the thing to show up on the screen. I believe I'm going to say the answer is 12. 6 times 2 is 12, carry the 1. All right, so if we're getting 6% interest on an account, it will take our money 12 years to double. If we are getting 72, hey Siri, what is 72 divided by 4? Oh, it's not going to answer. Can I do the division? Hold on. I need to go back to 8 times, I don't know. Oh, I feel so slow. So let's look at, okay, let's use 3. 3 might be easier. Okay, let's use the number 3 here. We're going to use 3. So if I say 72 divided by 3 over here, I know that it's 72 divided by 6 is 12. Then if you're getting 3% interest rate, then this will be double to 24. You could tell I'm a financial strategist and not a mathematician, right? So here, if we go 72 divided by 1% interest, then it's going to take 72 years to double our money, right? And sadly, I want you to check what is the interest rate on your current accounts. Most people in savings are not even getting a 0.5%. So if we were getting 0.5% interest, guess what? 72 times 2, it would take about 144 years. This is where most people have their money, right? Most people, everyday working class, are saying, no, I just want to save. I talk to people all the time that say, you know what, I just want to save my money because what if I need it? Like, what if you do, right? Because what ends up happening is maybe you have a plan and you say, okay, you know what? Why does it write like that? I don't want it like this. Let's get this. So if you have a plan and you say, you know what? I know that by the time I retire, I want to have $1 million in the bank. So, you know what? I don't like this anymore. Let's take this off. Let's erase this. Let me try writing it out because I need like a stylus or iPad or something. So if we say the top things that you should know is your financial snapshot. All right, you want to know what's coming in, what's going out, what do you own, and what do you owe. All right, this is one thing. And can I move it? Let's move. Oh, it's not gonna let me move it. Oh, well. Okay. Next, you want to know is your financial independence number. You wake up and you are 55, 60, whatever it is, whatever age, you don't want to have to work anymore. Like, how old are you and how much money do you want to have if you could never work again? Or if you have a choice on whether or not you work. Another thing you want to know is what happens if you can't work? What they will say, what happens when life happens? This is why we have to have a proper plan in place because as we know, life does happen. All right. Okay. So now that I've shared some stuff, hopefully you were able to take a screenshot of those questions. If not, watch the replay. When I post the replay, you have to have a financial snapshot. You have to know what your financial independence number is. And you have to ask yourself, like, how many buckets do you have? And is there a hole in the bucket? Because what some people don't realize is that while compound interest might not be working for you, it might be hurting you because Oftentimes I sit down with clients and they have car payments, they have mortgages, they have all these things that they owe, and they don't even know what the interest rate is that they're paying, and they haven't even considered refinancing or consolidating their debt. So basically, we're like a hamster on a wheel because we want to do better, we want to get ahead, but what's the plan? What is the plan? I had one client that I was able to, help refinance loans and get things situated, and they were able to save money, right? And they were able to stop paying money in interest, and they instead were able to put that money towards retirement. Because life isn't getting easier, we have to do better. We have to do better with our money. We have to do better, like be a good steward, right? And don't be selfish. Oftentimes I sit down with some clients too, and they're like, well, I can't afford to help. I can't afford to donate. And one thing I would say is that even if it's $5 a month, yes, you don't want to be giving all your money away, but put a portion of your income. There's something called the financial pie. What did I do with the pen? There's something called the financial pie, where if you look at how much money is coming in every month, look at your income and see how much is going towards housing, how much is going towards tithing, how much is going towards blowing the money away, and how much is going towards um your future. So I say we have to pay ourselves, we have to pay bills, but what happens is maybe you cut down on some expenses, right? Maybe you cut down on subscriptions. Maybe you stop eating out. I remember a time where I had to tell myself, you know what, until I pay myself and have $1,000 saved, I'm not allowed to go out to eat anymore. I remember when I was buying my house and I had to tell myself, I'm not going to Ross every Friday and buying clothing until I close on my house. So sometimes we have to sacrifice for success. And if we're not willing to, sacrifice and focus on our goal, focus on the finish line, then we'll never get there. So I will stick around to see if anyone has any questions, but I will definitely say that right now I've shared some concepts with you, kept it very basic. You can, one, do nothing and keep going about what you currently have going on, or two, you can set up a free financial review call where we can sit down, talk about your finances, where you are right now, and where you would like to be in the future. Because remember, you don't have to know everything to do something. And the best time to start is right now while you still have the time. So thank you for tuning in to the Boss Moves Masterclass, and stay tuned for the next one, which might be 2 weeks, 2 weeks time. We'll see. But comment if you have any questions, drop them. I can't see the comments on Facebook, but YouTube, let me know if you have any questions. And until next time, be grateful for what you have and go after what you want because it's possible. Thank you. And I will drop the link for the replay to schedule a call. I will share the Calendly link where you can schedule a call, free financial review, or shoot me a message if you don't want to look for the link. Send me a private message right now saying grow or boss moves, boss money, share something. Say, hi, hey, I saw the live, whatever it is. The most important thing is that we connect and get started. So thank you for tuning in. Ta-ta.